Hi. Earlier I did a video on how I primed this board. It's quite solid now. So if you want to know how I did it, you can go back and watch the previous video. Now I'm going to do a sort of a snow scene, but I'm going to try to do it quickly with fairly thick paint. But because we've got this lovely surface underneath, which is very thick gesso fluid or plaster of Paris, but look, it's quite a solid surface, nothing comes off of it. So I'll just play around with the skies, a bit of red in the sky, I think, a bit of blue. It looks as if I've used a lot of paint when it's finished, or it will look like it. I'm using the Wilkinson acrylics. That's a sort of a dark cadmium red, really. It's okay. It mixes lovely with the Wilkinson's ultramarine. But we just get a bit of colouring on there first. The thing about using inexpensive acrylic is that you don't mind using a lot of it. £1.50 a tube. Hope I don't get my head in the way. So I just want to cover the board with some nice colour. And as we come down to the, mix a little bit of green in with that, I think. You can use a bit of medium with this when you use it, but the paint is thin enough as it is. Alright, let's get a bit more blue in there. That's quite a dark mix there. Right, let's use a bit of more colour in the sky now. I'm using lemon yellow, yellow ochre, a sort of cadmium red. It's not as bright as I'd like. Ultramarine, burnt umber, burnt sienna, black, and some viridian. I probably won't use all the colours. I need my blues a bit darker than that, but let's just go in with plenty of colour. Should be doing some more rough seas because we're getting a lot on our coast at the moment. We're getting the American, you got it first, Gertrude, and we're getting sitting in Scotland now with gales or winds of up to 100 miles an hour. So I want a fairly colourful. I'm not going to go too abstract with this, but I want to get some thick colour. Well, who knows? Just fill that hole there. Got some nice big clouds here. It's all very experimental, my gessoing, using it thick and putting it on with a painting knife. Build up a colour, it's going to be similar to what I've done before. Right, now we want some slightly darker cloud, some blues then, a bit darker skies. I'll clean my brush. Remember to keep your brushes really nice and clean. Right, bit darker blue, bit of red in lit, just a bit mauvey. Right, Otherwise, it's too light for the to counter change against the lighter clouds. So that's a bit better. Now blue, red, and it darkens sort of darkens the blue as well. It takes a sting out of the Reckitt's blue of the ultramarine. I'll make it different sort of brush strokes. Oh, there's a bit more crimson in there, I think. Darken some of these clouds here. Now that gives me something to counter change my nice clouds against. I did a couple of abstracts yesterday. It's hard to get away from the representational painting and trying to do something different, so I'm making these look as if I'm trying something different. A lot of white. And then we can go back and modify that if we wish. Let's get a nice bit of dark colour in there. Just using the red and the, well, that's a bit too much. But I don't want a traditional sort of well, let's just put in some right, we'll let that go for a minute, let that dry off. Change brushes, let's do something down the bottom there, but I want to just put in some a background of trees and things. So a bit of black, bit of sienna. That's a we can have a bit of a slope going down there. Nice bit of. I'm using black and burnt sienna, burnt sienna, bit of ochre in there, bit of red, warmed up a little bit, and let's get that there, get the balance right. It's all wintry trees. I can put lights back over this. But nice. I love black. If you don't have to use it neat, you can. I'm putting a bit of green on there. Oh. Lemon yellow, bit of black, gorgeous greens. All the way down there, and we can put something in here. Right, now I want some distance. Oh, sorry, easier to get in the habit of squeezing out the paint on your kitchen paper before cleaning it in. It's easy to clean in the water. Great big roll of stuff. So, very, very handy, very cheap. Okay, so we want a bit of distance on there, so we've add a bit of blue to the black, a bit of white, more blue, and a bit of red in there. just give that distance coming down the hill. And I'm going to paint into that. Right, let's get in with some nice snowy colours, greys. Just got to paint into the hollows of the gesso. More blue, a bit more crimson. Paint those margins. And we can build up some impasto on that now. I need to put a tree going up there just to block that side, otherwise everything's going to fall off the picture. I'll scumble over that when it's dry. Oops, take that paint off there. I like this brush, it's wearing out. But excuse me a minute while I put my gloves on. I put my gloves on. Stops your hands from getting chapped from constantly holding on to wet rags. Right, wash. Are you still with me? Got a lot of work to do in the sky. I'm going to build up some nice thick paint in there. So I'm going to put some more white out. Oh, that's how sloppy this paint is. Alright, clean that off. Drops on the floor, but I've got an old rug underneath my chair, so it doesn't matter. Right, so let's get some bit of colour in the snow. I'm still feeling my way with this. I'm sort of making it up, but shadow over which we can put the lighter snow. And then the hollow. You've got to have light, darks to show the lights, to counterchange everything. But I don't want dead white. There's a bit of grass showing through. Quite fun. Right, let's just let that dry for a bit and go back into the into the sky. Right, let's use my nice big brush here. Okay, I think we need darker, more threatening sky. So we're mixing a bit of black with that blue and the red. Black and blue. Okay, a bit more stormy colour in there. You can mix your paints up, like all your mixes, before you start if you wish. But I with experience, you can mix up the same sort of intensity all the time, rather than, it's like when you knife paint. A lot of artists that I've seen, even Nancy Kaminsky, if you remember her, would mix up her paints for her knife paintings before she started. But with experience you can, but she was teaching for the beginners, but you can learn with experience to mix them up the same all the time. And anyway, we don't want everything looking exactly the same. We want some lighter bits. No flat areas. Lots of different bits of colour. Then we'll modify that, put a bit of cloudy sort of colour under this here. And we can go to a sort of a lightish horizon. That's just sort of using that sienna. Using that mauvey mix of ultramarine, the crimson. It's more than cadmium. It's called cadmium red, but it's more a crimson. But it's great for our purposes. A bit lighter. Keep the colour. I can put the lights back, but I just want to, and that's not dry there. That's still drying. So I might just go a bit big into the sky there. Okay then. So sort of a mid-tone. But I don't want to drag any of that into the sky, but I want to drag the sky into the top of the trees a little bit. Yeah, but I can't do that yet. Still just a little bit tacky. Alright, let's put some bit of light under there. Right, I'll use a touch of alizarin, a bit of white, a little bit of yellow ochre. See what sort of, yeah, that gives a nice sort of cool colour. Oh, it gets very windy. Yeah, that's a nice sort of colour. Right. I'm going to go back into those clouds now, doing some the original colour, the white, the crimson and the yellow ochre. I can't really show you what I'm doing because I'll have to keep moving the camera. red, I think. All the time building up the surface of the paint. Now I want to put some shadow, bring this up a bit and bring that nice mauvey shadowy colour. And then we can put a bit more light down here, light in there. Right, I'm not quite so happy with that now, so I'm going to just put that in here. It's a bit better. See, with acrylic you can change very quickly. Now I'll get those lighter colours in here. Right, mauvey colour, blue, red, white. Just these little shadows to where the sun is. Just making it up as I go along. Just break that flatness up a little bit with a bit of extra sort of cloud floating across. Right, we're getting something now. Put some colour into these bushes. Oops, not quite as much as that. No, don't like that. Use the red and the black and the greens. I can do a bit of calligraphy in there just to show a few branches, trunks. Right. Get those distant trees again. These here just. Right. Okay, I'm going to just invent a bit of bit here, a bit of grass showing through, and a bit of a tree coming out of here. But I'm just going to stay with those colours because I like them. Bit of green, I think. So just the black and the burnt sienna, and I can calligraphy that a bit later on. Let's just put in some quite greeny stuff in there. Put a shadow. Go back in here. So we're going to go with the snow. Right, I'll use a bit of sienna, ochre, and just not be very like that when that's dry. A bit of burnt sienna, I think. Now I'll go back over that when it's dry, or maybe use one of my pinch brushes. I'll do that with a bit of black. Okay, that's not too bad. Keep your brushes pressed if you're not using them. Or nice little, this one here. I'm going to go over that, I don't really like that. So I'll just use this other brush and just put in my dark greeny ivy colour, a bit of red. So you can quickly change. Right, now snow. Oh, it's nice like that now. Okay, so snow, let's keep a bit of colour in. Don't paint it white, so off-white, like this, catching the colours of the sky. In the high spots. Oh, just a very impressionist now. That's where I want the darker blue snow for the shadow behind these. So I'm holding my brush. Doesn't really matter, you hold your brush how you like. Nice dark snow in here. Right, got this another brush. How are we doing there? Just warm up a little bit of that colour there. Just these little grasses sticking up here. Don't want to do too much. Just the back and the sienna. That just I'm going to dry it so I can just scumble over some snow. I hold you, yeah, it is. Now, because I'm not using any of my PVA glue diluted as a medium, the paint tends to dry with a matte finish, but you can always varnish it. There's my bottle of say two-thirds PVA glue and a third water. But with experimentation, you can find out what suits you, what you find best. I just give ideas. I don't show a method because I change my way of painting every day, just as it happens. Right, so bit of white on the brush here. Let's just put in some of that. That's where it's sort of showing. Just catching the high spots. Just open up the edge of that. That's all right. That's all in shadow, so it'll be bluish. And we can a little bit of lighter snow. There. That gently does it. Trying to create an impression of snow just that's not dry there. I'll go back to that. Right, I just want to put some thicker snow in now, some lighter snow in here, show the light catching it. So same colour but a very light version of the clouds. Oh, let's just nice, thick now. Show the undulating ground. using up my paint now. Just dry brushing. Right, okay, that seems to be all right. Now with a small brush, let's put a couple of figures on. Mix up a bit of orangey. That's if I just lift that, oh, it's stuck. I'll put that in there. Then I can rest on the edge of the board here. Let's just good. This is a bit brighter, I think. Stick. Okay, so a bit enough, isn't it? But just struggling up the hill. I don't think there's much I could do that other than just put in those few trunks there, just shining through. No, I'm going to let that go. I think there's a little bit of trunkage in the what's my figures? Bit of water. That's yellow, bit of white, plenty of water, make it nice and thin and grey. Doesn't really show. That's not quite come off, is it? Let's knock that back a little bit. No. Right, I think I'll give up. That's a little bit better. Right, I'll put it in the frame and we'll see what that looks like. And if it doesn't work, well, we can always turn it into an out and out abstract if it fits. I'll just put a couple of nails in. Just hold on. Find them. I think I'll knock my nails on the floor with my kitchen roll. Just to stop it falling out of the frame. When you prime hardboard or paper, it's good to prime both sides because it'll stop it buckling. That's it. Don't go away. Right, there we are. Another little impressionist, abstracty type of picture. Let's move the camera around. So there we are. I quite like the sky. That works out well, putting that dark blue over the top. Let's zoom in. You can see what I've done to those trees. Quite thick paint, but I'm not really sure. I think the surface is better for an abstract rather than an impressionist. But anyway, I'm sort of experimenting with that. Go to the other side. Just that scrubby tree to balance things. And I've put a little man in there, it's a little bit, well. But I've put plenty of dark bluey greys in the snow, because snow isn't pure white. It reflects the colours around it, especially from the sky. And I don't really think, if I put pure white on that, it would look a bit too stagey. But I'm not displeased with that. We'll see what you think. Thanks for watching anyway. Bye bye.